Hey everybody, this is Javi, and you're watching the Bowtie Psychic here on YouTube. I'm a psychic, intuitive medium, and author who uses divination and storytelling to help people overcome generational trauma. And one way I do that is by giving general readings. And today, I'm actually being led to do a pick a card segment around the solar plexus chakras. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. If you resonate with the message in any way, shape, or form, whether it be, regardless of where the message falls, by all means, click that subscribe button. You can also go to the bowtiepsychic.com website in order to get a more in-depth reading. Also, if you like this video, click that like button and subscribe to the channel if I haven't said that already. So let me tell you a little bit about the solar plexus before we even get started. So what that is that is above your belly button, and that is where we have that's where our power center is. That's where our gut instincts are, our intuition. That's where we get that, that gut instinct that tells us like something's not right or go ahead. That is spirit's way, or our spirit squad's way of communicating with us by using that solar plexus. It's not only about where our power is, but where is where our creativity is as well. Okay. And that's where a lot of our decision making comes from. Okay, because again, we have that intuition. Is also where that keeps us very centered in regards to who we are as people. So if you have an issue with certain people and you feel anxious around them, why is that? Okay, why do you have that feeling in your stomach? What makes you so afraid? Okay, and where is that fear? Most of the time when it comes to standing in our power or anything pertaining to standing on our own 2 feet, and standing in the truth of where we are and who we are, it stems from our power center, which is our solar plexus. So that's where that is coming from. So with that in mind, keep that in mind when we're doing these readings, right? So as far as the picker card, there are 3 piles. There's group 1, group 2, and group 3. So all I ask is that you pay attention to your power center, like the energy that's within your core, right? And that core is where your solar plexus is, which is right above your belly button where your stomach is. Okay, so again, I want you to take a deep breath and pick one of 3. Okay, piles. So group 1, group 2, group 3. Again, this is about the solar plexus. Okay, this reading will be centered around the solar plexus and where your power is. So group 1, group 2, and group 3. Okay, so with that being said, let's get started. All right, y'all. So this is group 1 for the solar plexus reading. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I have it right here. Right, so basically what I'm getting from this already is the 2 of Cups here. And so what I'm getting with the 2 of Cups is that a lot of us are I'm getting that as far as our solar plexus, a lot of us are not putting ourselves out there. A lot of us are not allowing ourselves to be around people and to be fair is because of the times, but this is like more of an emotional thing. Like a lot of us are just not, a lot of us are isolating, and a lot of us are trying to be around other people right now. So it's as if like of the camaraderie is like pretty much like cut to a minimum. Okay, so a lot of our power comes from just basically from what the energy that I'm getting from this card. A lot of this energy stems from extroverted behavior and being an extrovert and being around a lot of people. That's where you get your power from. So this basically is for This pile is basically for extroverted people, or people who get their power, their solar plexus power, from being connected with other people. This is actually really bothering y'all, especially if you're an extroverted person. Like, you receive a lot of your energy from the energy of others. And it's not like a psychic vampire type of thing. This is where you get a lot of your power. This is where you get a lot of your energy and your source, and like this is where you get a lot of your connections, okay, from being around other people. And when you're not being able, and with the fact that you're not being able to be around other people right now, it really really bothers you. Okay, this is not like an introverted energy where you're like, oh yes, I've been prepared for this for all of my life. No, it's not like that at all. What I'm getting from this is that a lot of you are very lonely, and a lot of you are like bored to death. It's like, what do we do here? Like, what do we do with our energy, right? And so, what I'm getting from the Two of Cups is that y'all really miss you really miss being with people. You really miss being with people. All the extroverted folks out there are people who have extroverted energy but have no problem, stepping back. This is something completely different. Like, you don't like being bored, and you, you don't like not being entertained, okay, or being placed in a position to entertain. So what I'm getting from that, from the Two of Cups, is that a lot of you miss being around people. A lot of you miss being around people. You also have, I'm gonna cover this up because her boob is out. You also have the two, not the Two of Cups, but the Page of Cups. Now the Page of Cups reverse is about sharing your inner, right side of is about going out there and sharing your energy with other people. What I'm getting from this card is that um, it's the complete opposite of that. Like, a lot of you are being forced into quarantine, or being left alone, and I'm just getting that you miss sharing yourself with people and miss sharing information with people. I'm just getting that you miss being around your friends, you miss being around your family. I'm just getting from, like, when you're not able to give your energy to people, being around other people, it really does bother you in some way, shape, or form, because you feel like a lot of your powers comes from that. And like I said, that connection, um, that communication piece. And also, I'm getting from the King of Wands here is that a lot of you are always on the go. You feel very stuck in your environment. You feel very stuck in your circumstances. A lot of you are in your house, and you are being forced to. Uh, you're being forced to think. You're being forced to think and to be quiet with yourself. You're being forced to be alone with yourself and your own energy, and it doesn't feel right. See, a lot of folks, I don't have, of course, I don't have any sort of issue with extroverts whatsoever. In fact, I'm a combination of both. But when I need to recharge, I need to recharge, and I'm on my way to the house and not leaving. With extroverted people, that's not the case at all. When you're not around people, you don't have that sounding board. Being on the internet, being online, talking to people is not, it's not the it's not the dream. It's not the ideal thing that you want to do. You actually like being around other people, and I'm getting that from the Page of Cups as well. And so now that you are by yourself, and you are to, unless you live with someone else, um, I'm just getting that for the most part. Like, you are not. This is not the opportunity for you to be entertained all the time. This is an opportunity for you extroverts, or those who have chosen Power One. Um, I'm just saying it's extra talking to extroverts because that's the energy I'm getting. But what I'm getting from this is that from the King of Wands is that a lot of you are being forced to look at yourself. A lot of you are being forced to look at your inner demons and your shadows, and why you are so why you're so bored. Why do you feel like you have to be entertained all the time? What's going on to the point where you have to be distracted all the time? Okay, so this is the time for you to sit down, extrovert, and sit, or those who chose pile number one, this is time for you to actually sit down and meditate and be quiet with yourself. Okay, your mind is going every like miles a minute, and so this is a time for you to really have that to check out those thoughts, be mindful of those thoughts. Think about where those thoughts are coming from, especially if they're negative. And this is literally the time for you to sit and meditate and be one with yourself and realize that you cannot be entertained all the time. Okay, um, y'all y'all are itching to go outdoors, and simply because of the time that's going on, or for whatever reason, because this video is timeless, right? So you're gonna be watching it at any time. But what I am getting for today, for this particular video, is that a lot of those who will pick pile number one, y'all gonna be real close and very much in touch with your inner self and your inner power, and you're going to learn to get your powers from someplace else. Um, this aside from the energy of other people. Okay, you're so used to a sounding board. A lot of you are going to be touch deprived, so just be aware of that. Unless you have family, and I'm just getting like a lot of you are going to be by. I'm just getting like I'm getting this for everybody. There's a lot of you who have family and things like that, but there are some single people too. The single people are going to be the ones, and those who live by themselves. Those are the folks, who are having a bit of a hard time because you're touch deprived. Okay, you love physical touch. You have no problem with physical touch. In fact, the Page of Cups actually speaks volumes in regards to human interaction and physical touch. A lot of you are not going to be able to do that, and so it's going to bother you significantly. And so a lot of you are going to be lonely. A lot of you are going to feel that loneliness, and a lot of you are going to lose a lot of confidence. Okay, because of it, because there's this lack of inaction, right? And so there's going to be a period where you may slip into some sort of depression, or may slip into um, like some sort, or have some sort of anxiety around being alone, or being by yourself, or being and being alone with yourself, right? Because there's a difference between being alone and being alone with the self. You start to think when you're alone with the self. You start to examine and re-examine who you are as a person, and sometimes you may not like what comes up. So just be aware of how you're feeling, extrovert, of those who pick pile number one, and be honest with yourself about where you are. Don't try to brush it out of your mind. Don't try to downplay your anxiety. If this is where you're coming, if this is where you're coming from, by all means, examine that. Because again, yes, you have friends, you have plenty of friends, but then you're going to start examining those friendships as well. Um, like why, like what is it about these particular people um, that turns you on to them, and vice versa? Like there's so many questions that you're going to be forced to answer those questions. You're going to be forced to ruminate on those questions, meditate on those questions, and literally start looking at yourself as you truly are. So this period of the year, just be aware of that. Okay. You also received the sacrifice. A lot of you are sacrificing your free time and your spare time. You feel like you're sacrificing something. You feel like you're going to be this is a time for y'all, like you feel like it's a bad sacrifice, or you feel very uncomfortable, and that is actually a good thing. Okay, because what I'm getting for you, Power One, is that this is a time for you to remain quiet. This is a time for you, and I mean, I'm not saying you remain quiet to the point of hiding, but basically of being quiet and listening to yourself, like truly listening to yourself. Are you extroverted because that's who you really are, or are you extroverted or very talkative with people because you're nervous about something, um, silence makes you anxious, and if silence and being quiet makes you anxious? Why is that? This is why the sacrifice is happening. You're sacrificing um, social time. Okay, you're sacrificing this need to be entertained. You're sacrificing this need to be interacting with people. This, you know what I mean? And you're tempted to go outside, but you realize too that your health is more important, and the health of people you care about is more important than anything. Anything that you are looking to accomplish right now as far as human interaction. So this is like a huge sacrifice for you, but at the same time is a sacrifice that was to happen. It was going to happen a long time ago if you're one of those people who just, you're extroverted, um, because you are, because that's something that you are using to hide from your true self or to hide from your shadows. Okay, so this is literally the time for you to start looking at that stuff. You also have honor the masculine. Okay, honor the masculine, respecting men and respecting the divine masculine. What I'm getting from this is that a lot of you are just, this is a time for you to really, not exactly, I wouldn't say toughen up, because there are female body individuals who are extremely tough. But what I'm getting is that, and so this pretty much tells me that it's usually, and I got this before. Thank you, Spirit, for confirming this. This is also like for folks who are very, very, very tapped into their feminine energy um, in regards to their social interactions, because it's often women and female bodied individuals, um, or people who are very much tapped into their feminine energy and their feminine power, who are, I know, are very talkative. They're very talkative, they're very social, they're very vibrant, and they're just out there, right? Um, and so, like, the society has, put in the minds of many that is often women and female bodied individuals, or someone who is very feminine, who is always talking, right? So it really doesn't matter, like, the person's gender. It's just that when people are tapped into their feminine energy, they're someone completely different. And because society has placed it in our minds that it's often women who are often expressing their emotions and often expressing who they are and do it freely, that's what you're tapping into. And that's what's being that's what presents itself. That's the part you're presenting to the world, right? However, with masculine energy is not as, yes, men are very talkative, male-bodied individuals and non-binary people are very talkative, but at this, for the most part. But a lot of us also have, um, a lot of us like practice restraint. A lot of us are not as talkative. A lot of us are more logical than anything. And I'm not saying that women or female bodied individuals are not logical, but I'm saying that men, because of our society, has been taught to be quiet, to be more observant, to be more um, to be more conscious and very mindful of what is being said and done in the who in our society, and regardless of who we're talking to. So what I'm getting from this card is that this is a time for us to be mindful. Okay, be mindful. Use this energy, that masculine energy, to be mindful of where we are. Okay, to be mindful of where we are, in our lives, and why to why we're so uncomfortable. Use this energy to be more conscious of how you're feeling about yourself. Okay, to be to basically like stand back. Okay, to stand back and to disappear into yourself in order to examine um yourself, right? To examine the self, to examine your thoughts, to examine the world around you, um and to basically to be logical and not take this time to be so serious, um, in regards to it feeling as if it's the end of the world. Okay, um, I'm just getting them to just be mindful of your emotions and to not get caught up in your emotions. To look at things logically, okay, and more practically, and use this time to really start aligning both your masculine and feminine energy. Because if something like this happens in regards to a crisis, you're not so quick to go into a panic, okay, or you're not so quick to um, believe the worst or think the worst, and have this loneliness, right? or to feed into this loneliness. You're able to think logically and not take this personally and see this time, this opportunity of you not being around people as an opportunity for you to grow as a person. Okay, so that's what all that means. So what you we also have here, we have the seven of water, and it has, and this is upside down. And so what I'm getting from this card is that a lot of you are so used to not going with the flow. Power one is so used to not going with the flow, and this is the time for you to start doing that. It's time for you to start going with going with what's happening and not fight the current, not fight what's going on. Okay, because the more we fight the inevitable, which this was going to happen. Okay, eventually, what's going on in the world was going to happen. Um, the more you try to fight it, the harder it's going to be. So just be aware of that. Okay. There's no need for you to fight. There's no need for you to be upset about it, which is why this is the time for you to just relax and settle down. Okay. I'm also getting the intellect and emotional card again. This is the time for you to tap into that masculine energy so you can align both the masculine and feminine, because a lot of you, again, um, there's a disconnection between the intellectual and the emotional, the spiritual and the practical. So this is like the time for us to, or at least those who have chose pile number one, this is literally a time for you to align with your masculine and feminine energy, to know more about yourself, to know more about yourself at the core. This is a time for you to start examining yourself, where you are intellectually and emotionally and developmentally. And when I mean developmentally, I'm talking about definitely some inner child energy work, because a lot of us are so used to being outside. A lot of y'all are so used to being outdoors, being outside, and distracting yourself. It's to the point where it's like, now that you're by yourself, this is a time for you to, it's as if like that disconnection between the masculine and the feminine, or the intellectual and the emotional, is very, very, very apparent, as far as the disconnection, because now you're by yourself and you have yourself uh, to be around, right? Even when you are in a family unit or part of a family unit, by the end of the day, it's up to you to examine what's going on with you. Okay, or you are, and not use your family, or not use your friends, or not use something else as a mere distraction. Okay, so that's where that is coming from. It's time for us to use both, um, to connect our emotions with our intellect, and think of things practically, and not put ourselves in a position to get so to get so caught up in, um, to get so caught up in being wanting to be entertained. Okay, this is the time for us to really look into ourselves, at ourselves. I'm also getting to, yeah, like the, you also have the five of fire upside down again. This is about being entertained. This is about being fooled. Don't allow yourself to be distracted. Don't allow yourself to be distracted. This is actually the time for you to start, um, again, finding out who you are at the core, or starting the process of finding out who you are at the core, and to basically examine your insecurities around silence. Okay, that's what I'm getting. A lot of you are going to find out real quick who your friends are. Okay, pile number one, all my extroverted people who feel like y'all have friends and feel like you can be friends with everybody. That's not the case, and you're going to find that out real quickly. And so this is a time for you to actually examine your friendships or your relationships, or what brought y'all together. So it's like, once you start doing the work necessary, to be mindful of your power, you're not going to be easily fooled by people that you interact with. Okay, I just want you to be aware that this is time for you to really examine some stuff, um, about yourself, and not allow yourself to be easily tricked or fooled into, um, into just believing anything you hear. I'm also getting too, like, you won't be able to hide from yourself. You won't be able to do that sleight of hand, that verbal, intellectual sleight of hand anymore, because you are not, you're being forced to look at yourself and look at your um, what makes you an extrovert to begin with, especially if you have a history of trauma. Okay, um, the Sentinel card. Um, yeah, I'm also getting to, like, from this is actually a card about gatekeeping. Okay, so what I'm getting from this card is that, again, yeah, you won't be able to hide from yourself. You won't be able to hide from yourself. I'm just getting from this whole thing that is that you will not be able to hide from yourself. You're not going to be able to use, like, external factors, to um, you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to use that to hide. Um, so this is like one of the. I'm going to say this is like one of my favorite cards, because it's like when I think of gatekeeping, I'm thinking of you of hiding information or gatekeeping or to keep someone safe, right? You kept yourself. I'm just getting a lot of you have kept yourself safe with your extroversion. A lot of you have kept yourself safe when you're just out here just talking to anybody. Because when you're out and about, you don't have to think about, your trauma. You don't have to think about what's going on with you. You can, you know, talk to a friend, go out, do something. I'm just getting, like, go get a cup of coffee or go shopping or whatnot, and just make yourself feel better in some way, shape, or form. You're not going to be able to do that anymore. Okay, you're not going to be able to go to people's houses, go to people's places, go to a restaurant or whatnot. You're not going to be able to do that, because of the recent lockdowns. So, or if there is something that you can do out in the outdoors, you're not going to be able to do that without putting yourself at risk. So now, you're getting to where um, you can no longer run away from spirit. You can no longer run away from yourself. You can no longer run away from your issues or whatever you have been hiding from that keeps you from stepping into your full power. You're going to have to look at it. And so now, like, this is an opportunity for you to, pile number one, to not run away from what's going on. Okay, this is a time for you to do some meditation exercises, some writing exercises. If you are to do some sort of inner child regression, that is something that you are to do as well. But basically, and that's if you have some trauma going on. But this is a time for you to really examine as to anything that keeps you from your full power. Okay, and so the word of encouragement: fire. Okay, I'm just can't say burn anything. Like, step into your full power and burn anything and everything that does not serve a purpose. Burn, burn everything, like, energetically. Burn everything that does not serve a purpose. Okay, your fire is your core. Your fire makes you who you are. Your fire that is where we. That's where um, that's where a lot of the energy is in regards to our solar plexus. Like, it really is like a fire is burning, within all of us, and that fire is that desire. It's that desire to change, is that desire to act. And so you're being told to, like, act on your behalf. Burn away anything and everything that no longer serves you. Burn away the anxiety around silence. Burn away the anxiety around not being your core self. Burn away that need to be, or that desire, I guess, to be entertained all the time, and start really doing the work necessary around your extroversion and your distraction, your need to distract, in order for you to not truly tap into your inner self. Okay, so that's what I'm getting from Spirit for pile number one. Um, Basically, to like use this time to examine uh, yourself, especially if you're extroverted. Uh, don't be afraid of the silence, and don't be afraid of getting in touch with yourself, especially when it comes to your masculine and feminine energy. All right, so that's all I have for pound number one. Let's go ahead and do pound number two. If you are if you resonate with this in any way, shape, or form, by all means, let me know. Okay, in the comments. Hey everybody, so now we are moving on to pile number two. So let's go ahead and get started. So wow, so we have some powerful cards already. So a lot of us have like the queen of, well, I should say a lot of us. I'm so used to doing general readings. So what I got here for pile number two is the Queen of Swords. And so what I got from from the Queen of Swords is that she's extremely powerful, very reserved. Okay, and so a lot of you, ooh, okay. So what I'm getting from a lot of y'all, I'm getting a lot of introverted energy. A lot of you are very strong but very reserved. A lot of you have no problem tapping into your solar plexus energy whatsoever, and you and I'm just getting a lot of at least from this particular pile. I'm definitely getting some. Y'all know who you are as a collective. You know who you are as a unit. You know who you are individually. I'm also getting that a lot of you y'all have the tendency to not trust people. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why you got that card. Like I'm just getting from y'all are very strong, very intellectual, um, and you have no problem examining yourself. But a lot of you are also very reserved, and you don't trust a lot of people. The reason I wonder what that's about. Yeah, you don't put up with a lot of stuff. You don't put up with a lot of bullshit at all, and that's what I'm getting with pile number two in regards to the solar plexus reading, and so I'm getting that from already. I'm getting that your reading is about trusting people and examining why you are not able to do it. Okay, because y'all have been through it. Y'all are soldiers for the cause. I'm getting that a lot of y'all are very reserved and also very cut off. You don't let people get close to you enough to figure out what's going on with you and why you're so reserved. You're able to have a conversation, but then you back up. You back the hell up real quick. And that's I'm getting that a lot of you are very much introverted, and you're very careful about who you deal with anyhow. Okay, that's why I got the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups reverse is basically about you not allowing people to get close to you, and there's some issue with not only an issue with trust, but there's an issue with um, getting along with getting along with people, opening up to people. I'm not getting like this sense of peace at all, because the Knight of Cups is about you know spreading peace, um, and being extroverted and being loving and being kind and spreading that love and kindness. And I'm not getting this at all from y'all. You love, if you like people, you have no problem with people. But I'm also getting too that you are not about spreading your energy too thin. Okay, you're not about just giving your energy to people or giving your energy to just anyone. Okay, I'm definitely getting that. I'm also getting the Eight of Wands. Um, yeah, like I'm getting there's a fear of getting close to people. There's a fear of getting close to people. There's a fear. So like, okay, so that tells you right there what's going on. You're introverted, not because you're very observant and you're very much a person um, who is about introversion and going into the self. you know, a lot of you are probably very spiritual people, um, and have some like experiences, you know, with people that are not okay. Okay. Um, and so what I'm getting that at least with the Eight of Wands, I'm getting from what I'm seeing so far, especially with the Eight of Wands and the Knight of Cups, you don't like being around people because um, you have a fear of getting close. There's a fear of vulnerability here, um, and so your assignment as far as like your solar plexus is concerned is basically getting close to people and asking yourself what happened and why you're not able to do so. Because I'm just feeling a lot of anxiety around that. It would not surprise like now. It would not surprise me at all if you were being forced to look at that fear, examine that fear of people and getting close to people and that vulnerability and what's going on with that. Okay. So what I'm receiving is that there's this, believe it or not, I figured as much. So I figured something was going on. Okay. So I was like, wait a minute, this don't sound right. But basically, what I got here is a yearning. A lot of you want to be around people. Pile number two, y'all want to be around folks. Y'all want to be around people. But there is this like this level of trust, especially when it comes to relationships. Um, I'm just getting like y'all want to be close to people so bad. Y'all want to be close to people. You want to be vulnerable with people. That's what you're looking for. You're yearning for that. You're yearning for someone to understand you and who you are as a person. Um, you're afraid of getting close to people because you feel like they don't understand you. They won't understand you. I'm getting this fear of judgment. People are going to look at you and think that you are weird or you're no good or something. Like you definitely got the message a long time ago that you are unworthy of friendship, that you are unworthy of any sort of relationship or any sort of connection with another human being. That somehow someone is going to judge you or put you in a position of being persecuted. And so what is happening is that you definitely like stay away from people. You don't get around people very much. And it's not because you don't like people or anything like that. I'm not getting that at all. What I'm getting is that you really are afraid of judgment. I would not be shocked at all if people really didn't know who you were. I would be shocked if people like I would not be shocked at all if people did not know who you were. You're like a fortress almost, right? You're a fortress. And it's actually used to be a lot worse than it is now as far as your you staying away from people. You get me? But what I'm getting from this is that there's something that is um gnawing at you now. I'm getting that a lot of this like this introversion, you know, it's no longer comfortable. Is this introversion, this like this self-imposed introversion and this exile almost, it's not helping you at all. You are meant to be around people. We are meant to have a connection. We are very much interconnected. And the reason why a lot of people say that they don't like people or whatnot, it's not they got that message from something else, right? No one comes into this world saying I don't want to be around people. But I'm just getting for you like you never had that sort of mentality. It's just that like people have hurt you so bad or have talked about you so bad. I'm just getting that it could be a possibility that a lot of y'all were bullied as kids. So a lot of your power comes from what people like that lack of power. Like I feel like other people have snatched that power from you, um, and now you are to reclaim it and truly recognize on an unconscious level, excuse me, that not everybody is trying to come at you. Not everyone is trying to um, hurt you or persecute you or use their words or their platform to eat away at your spirit. So this is about you, for one, um, connecting with other people, but this is also about connecting with yourself and finding your power in being comfortable in your own skin. This is about you literally loving yourself as well, and um, being who you are, standing in your power in regards to being who you are, because you can't change for nobody. Okay, and you're not going to be, and it doesn't make any sense for you to change for someone else. You know what I mean? So this is about you recognizing your own power. Okay, and in order for you to start attracting people who are going to do the same thing, this is about you seeing your own divinity, basically. That's why you have the Queen of Fire here. The Queen of Fire loves herself. The Queen of Fire understands her power. She doesn't care about what other people are saying to her. She doesn't care about what other people are going to say to her. She's going to stand in her power and allow her power, her intellectual power, her intellectual power, her sexual power, her spiritual power, and her energetic power. She's going to let that be known, right? And this is the time for you to start doing that. This is not the time for you to be stoic and pretend that you don't care about what other people are saying, because a lot of y'all in power number 2, y'all play that game with yourselves, talking about, I don't care about what other people think. I don't know that, and know full well you do. It's time for you to be honest about that. Be honest about be honest about the fact that you care about what other people say about you. Okay, and be honest with the fact that you want friends. You are looking for actual relationships, ride or die relationships with your friends, right? You're looking for lifetime partnerships, lifetime friendships. That's what you're looking for, being honest with yourself, but it also starts with you, and knowing that you are just as powerful as the people at, um, that you come across. Okay, it's time for you to fill up the room. It's time for you to take up space. Okay, you're being asked, pile number 2, to take up space. Take it up. Take all the chairs, all the tables. You know what I'm saying? Like, let people know that you're just as powerful as they are. And that's what you're being called to do during this time. Your solar plexus is like wanting, there is as if like your higher self, because I truly believe that this is where your solar plexus is where your higher self really is. That's how your higher self speaks to you. That's how spirit speaks to you, and your higher self is ready to come out. Your higher self is very powerful, and they're waiting to come out. So this is the time for you to like allow yourself to be known 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for yourself. I'm not saying be egomaniacal, but what I am saying is that step into your own power. And so when you step into a room, the light flickers, right? That's the type of shit that you are. That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's the type of shit, the type of mantra you're supposed to be saying to yourself. And that's why your solar plexus is like, this is about the self, you loving yourself and not caring, like truly not caring about what other people are saying about you, because it really doesn't matter. This is why you have like the no king of water. The king of water is not about upside down. This is about you being in control of your emotional state. This is about you being in control of your reactions, your emotional reaction to things. Okay, it's reversed because a lot of you have like these negative emotions about what other people will think of you, and so you jump to all kinds of conclusions. You have your your emotional state. Um, I feel like there's no regulation, right? Um, you get overly emotional, or you're getting angry. Like a lot of y'all are getting angry. A lot of you are very hurt. A lot of you fall into a deep depression. A lot of you have anxiety because you're worried about what other people are saying to you. This is what I'm getting. So what the spirit is saying is that this is literally the time for you to just flip that. And the one way for you to do that, okay, is by doing work around the unconscious mind. Our unconscious mind drives us. That's where our unspoken thoughts are sitting, and they're taking up space. And the negative self-talk, they're just taking up space. They're not paying rent. They're not doing nothing. They're not paying a mortgage. They're just sitting there, fucking your whole life up, right? If you, it's for real, like they're really doing that. They're messing your life up, okay? Because that's what drives you. That's what and your thoughts are very powerful. Your thoughts are unspoken words that cast spells, right? So when you don't um, allow yourself to be mindful of what you say to yourself, um, it's a great disservice to yourself. So what I'm getting from the King of Water is that it's time for you to be mindful of your thoughts, to master your thoughts, so you can master your feelings. And when you're able to master your feelings, you can master your actions. You understand? This is literally the time for you to start doing a lot uh, of of work around negative self-talk, and I can actually do a video around that as well. Okay, so as far as your word of encouragement, you have the hunter. Okay, hunt for the truth. Hunt for the truth. Hunt for your truth. Go deep within yourself and hunt for that truth and hunt for that strength. Hunt for it because it's there. And this is the time, this is the perfect time, like during this quarantine. That's one of the reasons why I'm finding so much gratitude, for this time, because it's getting people to, is forcing people to know themselves at at the core. And so now this is a time for you to start hunting for that power. That power, you don't even have to go very far, it's within you. You are to just quiet your mind and do all you can. Okay, I'm sorry, like somebody also has a cold, so just be aware of that too. Okay, someone has a cold. Maybe it's sinuses too, because I know that I have seasonal allergies, but I'm not even outside. So someone out there, make sure that you are taking care of yourself as far as your sinuses, and drink plenty of water. Okay, I don't know who needs to hear that, but be aware of your sinuses. You're very susceptible. Um, I'm also getting all of you autoimmune deficiencies, so just be aware of your body and what's going on, so you can take care of yourself. I'm just getting drink plenty of water. Okay. Um, but yes, the hunter card is about going within the self and hunting for your power, hunting and tapping into your power, your strength. So you're not looking to other people to fill that cup for you. You have that cup full for yourself. Everyone else is just, as far as your interaction, everyone else is just there. Everyone else is there to just add to your life, to contribute to your life. They're not there to fill your cup. Okay, I can see this. If you are wanting support, that's one thing, but this is also about you, um, filling your own cup, um, finding your power within the self, so you can fill your own cup and not be worried about what other people are thinking. Because I'm just saying, like, ooh, y'all have a lot of trust issues around people hurting you and stuff like that, and it's time for you to start working through that, so you can get better friendships. Because there has been a time, there has been a time where, somebody hurt you, a few people, more than a few people hurt you, and now you just, your life like the world. You know what I mean? And it's just not the case. It cannot be this way, especially when it comes to the self. Okay, so that is all I have for group number two. So if you resonated with that in any way, shape, or form, by all means, let me know in the comments. And also, you can book a private reading, for um, with me, with the through the boat, excuse me, through the bowtiepsychic.com website. All right, so here is number three. Hey everybody, so now, last but not least, here is pile number three. Here's your reading if you chose pile number three. So what I got here is the Two of Swords, okay? And a lot of y'all, what I'm getting from this pile is that a lot of you are, this is about this is about decision making and making a decision. This is about yourself, like making choices about, okay, what can I do next, what can I do next, right? What is in store for me? It's as if like you're looking out into this world with this determination on your face, like it's very like determined, but it's like, okay, where do I go from here? Because this is about your indecision and your power around making a decision, okay, about where do you go from here. All right, so I already see that this is about decisions and making a decision, okay. And so um, I'm just getting that whatever it is that you are stuck on as far as your decision making, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. I'm also getting to like, this is about anxiety around the unknown. What's going to happen, especially with everything that's going on. It's about, okay, what do we do now? What do we do now? What is the best um, course of action? Now that the world is pretty much imploding. Okay, um, I'm not getting that you're panicking. You're just trying to figure out what to do next, right? Because I'm getting that for a lot of you, for a lot of folks in pile number three, and I'm getting like this is like at least 20 years old or something like that, uh, late like or at least 20, early to mid 20s. You're like, I ain't never done anything like this before, have been through something like this before. So this is definitely like a new generation of people who have not been through the other viruses or other like things, that a lot of us other folks who are much older or much more mature, I guess, have been through. And so you're like, what do we do next? What do we do now? How do we get ourselves together in regards to um, how do we survive this is what I'm getting. Like, how do we survive this? So a lot of this is about decision making and survival. And so the Ten of Cups is about you realizing that you're not alone. You're not alone in this. You're not the only one that has gone through this. Um, you're not the only one who's afraid. You're not the only one who's uncertain. You're not the only one who is like, what's the best course of action? The best, and like, I'm getting like the best thing for you to know is that you're not alone and you have people to help you. You have people to help you make these decisions. You have folks who you can talk to on a regular basis, and you're checking up on people. I love the fact that you all are checking up on each other, so you're not alone. I'm just getting like for this pile, this is basically for like a whole new generation, maybe like younger, like late teens, early 20s at least, or like definitely early 20s. 20 to 20, like I'm getting 19 years old to 25, somewhere around that area, maybe 26 years old. This pile is for y'all in particular, even though it's for everyone. This is for y'all in particular. Um, you're checking up on each other. You're trying to you see that if everyone is okay. There's a lot of you who have stepped up as a friend, the leader as a friend. Um, you're the ones, you're doing everything you can to make sure that people are communicating with one another. You're the ones setting up a lot of online correspondence so y'all can stay in touch with one another. You are the ones who is basically going around, making sure, you know, that your Instagram is active or your Facebook is active. I'm just getting a lot of social media around this. So there's a lot of what do we do now and how do we take care of one another? Okay, what do we take care of one another? Um, what do we do? Yeah, what do we do to take care of one another? And basically, you are not alone. Okay, you're not alone at all. All right. So the Four of Swords is around the reverse. Is about I'm getting that I usually get this around endings and disappointments or like a lot of drama, around something that's ending, and I'm not getting this at all. Yeah, you're making okay. So I'm also getting too for this card. You're making sure that everyone's okay, and there's like this fear of no one, and you have this fear of someone dying. Okay, there's this fear of someone dying, someone who's close to you passing away from this virus or from whatever. There's like this worry, this worrying around other people, and spirit is basically saying like, look, take care of yourself as well. Take care of yourself first. Take care of yourself. Make sure that everyone else is okay, but also don't work yourself up to where um, you are you're doing all these emotional labor and doing all the emotional work to the point where you're burning yourself out. Is what I'm getting from the Four of Swords. I'm just getting like you're so worried about everyone else that you're not thinking about yourself. So this is also about the self in regards to your caretaking, in regards to your decision making, in regards to like um, what your solar plexus. Like it's definitely about um, having boundaries. This is about having boundaries. This is about you practicing boundaries and taking care of yourself. So this is about self care. Okay, this is about self care. Again, like like I'm just getting a lot of um, female bodied individual, like a lot of feminine energy coming from this. It doesn't matter what your gender is, to be honest with you, but I'm just getting caretaker energy, caretaker energy with group number 3. And so what I'm getting is that you are to take care of yourselves, y'all. Take care of yourselves. Y'all worried about who's eating, who's not eating, who has medication, who can't. Like I'm just getting a lot of caretaker energy, and you are to be careful with that, even though it's very commendable is awesome. Also, be aware that you are not burning yourself out. I'm just getting like the the Queen of Wands is actually like a really caring individual, but she's also very reserved because she preserves her energy, right? She knows how to preserve her energy. I'm getting that a lot of you are not practicing good boundaries when it comes to um, you taking care of yourself and putting your needs first. Okay. A lot of y'all are being caretakers. A lot of you are paying attention to other people. A lot of you are putting your mental and emotional health at risk, making sure that everyone else is all right. And so spirit is saying like, no, saying it like I'm just getting a lot of well, some of you are mothers or parents. Some of you are the caretakers of the main caretaker of the family. A lot of you are just um, pretty much out here um, making sure that your kids are all right, that the babies in the neighborhood are all right, the community is all right. And so it's like I'm getting tired. I'm getting energetically tired. I'm getting tired just being tapped into your energy. Like y'all are doing a lot for other people, and it's okay for you to do for yourself. Okay, it basically is about you letting go of that primary role of caretaker. Okay, letting go of everything falling on your shoulders, or you feeling that everything is going to fall apart if you were to step away from that role. This is a time for. I'm just getting like also with the Ten of Cups. This is about asking for help. This is about asking for help and being honest with yourself in regards to your energy and where you are and where you are when it comes to being tapped out. It's okay for you to tap out. This is a time for you to. This is why community is so important. When you are ready to tap out, be wiped out. Um, Someone else can take the lead. It's not to be on your shoulders and your shoulders alone. Okay, so this is about you taking care of yourself, like the as far as your solar plexus, examining why you are the caretaker, examining why you feel like this gives you power, um, being the caretaker and taking care of other people. What do you get out of that as far as yourself? Is that who you really are? Um, and if not, where did this start as far as you taking care of other people? Okay. Yeah. So you have the soul cage It says rescue, escape from captivity, and restriction. Again, this is about asking for help. This is about asking for help and also examining your caretaker role. Okay, a lot of y'all are caretakers for a reason. I know for me, I was a caretaker when my mom had me watch my brothers when I was around 10 years of age. And so it just escalated from there. And while my mom was out doing whatever she wanted to do, whether it be work or otherwise, I was taking care of these babies, right? I was taking care of my brothers. Um, Whenever I was at my grandmother's house, I did not, very rarely did I get any help watching the children. They were my brothers were my responsibility. And I'm doing this at 10 years old when I'm surrounded by adults um, who who weren't exactly very helpful, in regards to um, taking that responsibility from me so I can rest, right? And so I know for me, it took me a long time to, it is still really hard to let go of that role sometimes. Um, but it's basically like about me taking care of myself and taking care of my energy and looking out for me, right? You're being told to let go of that, ask for help because a lot of you do feel very trapped. A lot of you do feel trapped in that role. A lot of you do have family members and friends who look out for you or look to you for advice um, or some sort of aid, and because you are seen as the leader of your group of people, right? Within your system of people. So just be aware of that. Like I'm feeling it now. Like I feel it in my heart. Like y'all need to settle down. Y'all need to settle down. A lot of you are like in your 20s or 30s or whatnot. A lot of you have had more life experiences than someone your age should have. Okay. And so it's straining you. Like I feel the strain in my heart and my chest. So that tells you right there, like you're holding stuff in your body. You're holding stress in your body. And it's spreading. It's spreading. Okay. It is spreading to the point where if you're not careful and if you're not taking care of yourself, you can literally have a heart attack or some sort of heart disease, or it can manifest into like some sort of problem. So don't allow yourself to be so worked up and have so much stress in your body that you are not taking care of yourself, or it's going to manifest into something you are not going to be able to handle later on. So be mindful of your energy, okay? Be mindful of that caretaker energy and how it is affecting everything else in your current situation, okay? Um, You also have the beauty card. Your soul is beautiful. Okay, your soul is beautiful, and it's high time that you see yourself as such. Okay, a lot of you see yourself as the caretaker so much that you forgot who you were. See yourself beyond that. Okay, I feel like I'm also getting that a lot of you are physically beautiful, right? A lot of you are physically beautiful. Okay, it's pretty much it's time for you to see yourself as such. Okay, it's time for you to see yourself as such. I'm just getting like you're more than a caretaker, and it's time for you to do some solar plexus energy work um, around that energy, around that role. Okay, all right. So a lot of you are y'all gave up. A lot of you gave up your dreams. You have like the 10 of water here, and what that tells. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to like this upside down, so forgive me. So So if I do like this because I'm trying to figure out what I'm looking at. So basically, this is the 10 of water, and what I'm getting is that a lot of you are not to let go of your dreams and aspirations to be a caretaker. A lot of you are not allowing yourself to dream because everyone else's uh, everyone else's stuff has become more important than yours. Everyone's dreams and aspirations and wants and needs and desires have become more important than yours. And so Spirit is basically saying it's time for you to put a stop to that. is why you're being told to examine a lot of energy, examine that energy around caretaking. And this is about also sacrifice. What have you sacrificed to be in this role, to constantly be in this role? Okay. What have you sacrificed? Was it worth sacrificing? Is there any way that you can tap into that dream again? Because now it's time for you to manifest the life that you've always wanted for yourself, what you've always dreamed, not even wanted, but dreamed for yourself. The number 10 is about new beginnings. What is your new beginning? Because being a caretaker 24 hours a day, 7 days a week is something that you did not ask for. I'm getting that a lot of you didn't ask for that. At your age or whatever age you are, you did not ask for that. So this is a time for you to start wondering about yourself in regards to you and your decisions. Okay, what are you looking like? What are you looking for in your life? Okay, you got the maiden card. Some of y'all wanted to bounce so bad. Like the maiden is actually y'all want to live your life. The maiden is living her life. She is living her dream. She is discovering the world, rediscovering the world. A lot of you are wanting to discover the world. A lot of you had dreams and aspirations of your own. And it's time for you to literally work towards that. Work towards those dreams and aspirations. Do something outside of being taking care of other people or being a caretaker. This is a time for you to literally take this opportunity to look at your life. Because a lot of you are the maiden. A lot of you are the maiden. A lot of you um, are wanting to live your life and live it accordingly. Don't allow these your current circumstances uh, to take that away from you. Yeah, I'm just getting like the time is now. The door is open. The time is now. The door is open. Okay. So as far as um, your words of encouragement, this is about taming the wind, right? Taming the wind. And so what I'm getting from this is literally about you not putting yourself in a box. Don't stop. This is not who you are. As far as you caretaking and taking care of other people and putting their situations first, that's not what you are looking to do. You just got lost in that role of taking care of other people, of being the caretaker and the hero. It's not just about being taking the caretaker. It's about being the hero and pretty much forgetting what you wanted out of life, what you were looking for out of life. So this is a time for you to know that you cannot be tamed. This is a time for you to realize that you can manifest your situation, a better situation for you and the people that you are putting yourself in a position to take care of. Because y'all didn't ask for this. I'm just getting this feeling that you did not ask for this. You did not ask to be a caretaker. But what I am getting from spirit is that this is a time for you to really look and examine um, your past and what happened and take that power back as far as your own agency in your own life, in your own aspirations and your dreams. This is the time for you to start going that route. This is the time for you to start looking out for you. You're just as important as the people that you have taken care of over the years. It is not your job to make sure that everyone eats all the time. It's not your job to make sure that everyone else is good. Even if you are doing everything on your own, you definitely deserve that respite. Okay, you definitely deserve, to take care of yourself and to put yourself first. You understand? It's time. It's time. So that is all I have for group number 3. If you resonated with that, message in any way, shape, or form, by all means, let me know in the comments. You can also book a private reading with me if you need any sort of clarification. Um, you can go to the bowtiepsychic.com website. So there you have it. Thank you so much for watching this pick a card reading video. I really appreciate it. I actually have fun doing it. So if you resonated with any or all of them, by all means, let me know in the comments. You can also click on that like button, and you can also subscribe to the channel, the Bowtie Psychic YouTube channel. If you never want to miss another video, in fact, I highly recommend you do it. um, Also, you can go to any of my social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I'm just very much active on Instagram, to be honest with you. So that's where I'm going to be. But you can follow me anywhere. You can also, yeah, like book that private reading. Book a private reading. Um, so we can, especially if you are looking for any sort of clarification, you can go to the bowtiepsychic.com website, and I'll put all that information in the descriptions. So thank you so much for letting me, tap into your energy, for sharing your energy with me. I really appreciate everything that you have done, to connect with me. So thank you again. Y'all have a good rest of the night. And until next time, peace.